Samantha used to believe love sounded like sacrifice. That's what her mother taught her. Family takes care of family, she'd say whenever another bill landed on Samantha's shoulders. Another grocery run, another emergency payment, another piece of her life quietly handed over in the name of loyalty, and Samantha believed it, until the night she realized she had become nothing more than a wallet with a heartbeat. It happened on a Thursday. She came home exhausted after a 10-hour shift, shoes soaked from the rain, hands aching from carrying everyone else's survival for nearly a year. The mortgage had already been paid that morning, utilities too. She'd even sent money to her brother for groceries before clocking out of work. All she wanted was 10 minutes of peace, but peace no longer existed in the house she bought. Her office had become her brother's nursery. Crayon covered the walls she once painted herself. Toys littered the floor where her work desk used to stand. Every corner of the home carried someone else's comfort, someone else's mess, someone else's entitlement. And before she could even set down her keys, her mother's voice cut through the room. "Dinner isn't ready yet. What were you doing all day?" Samantha froze. Not because of the question, because deep down she realized nobody in that house had asked how she was doing in months. Not once. She reheated leftovers for everyone anyway. Washed dishes nobody thanked her for cleaning, smiled through complaints about the food she paid for herself. Then she made one small request. "Can I move a desk into the hallway? I just need somewhere quiet to work again." Her mother looked at her like she'd committed a crime. "If you don't like living with family," she snapped, "then leave." The room fell silent. Her brother looked away. Her father turned up the television, and in that moment, Samantha understood something painful. She wasn't loved there. She was useful there. That night she packed a blanket, her laptop, and a pillow. Then she slept in her car. The cold woke her around 4 a.m. She stared at the ceiling of the vehicle she was still making payments on and felt something inside her finally break free. Not sadness, clarity. Because while her family believed she'd never leave, Samantha had already started planning her escape months earlier. Quietly, carefully, she had opened a private mailing address, moved her business paperwork, started saving every receipt, every bill, every transfer, proving she alone carried the house financially. And while her family fought over television channels and grocery brands, Samantha was building a second life in silence. A small loft near the river. Sunlight. Peace. No shouting through walls. No guilt disguised as love. At 5:17 a.m., sitting in her freezing car, she opened her banking app and completed the final transfer. Then she listed the house for sale. By noon, a realtor's sign stood proudly in the front yard. The same yard Samantha paid to maintain while everyone else treated the home like a free hotel. She didn't go back inside. Instead, she waited until afternoon and sent one message to the family group chat. "I won't be coming home. The house is being sold. You have 30 days to move out. Please contact the realtor with questions." No insults, no screaming, just truth. The reaction was immediate. Her phone exploded with calls. Her brother accused her of abandoning his children. Her father called her selfish. Her mother sent a long message ending with one sentence Samantha would never forget. "You're not a real daughter." That message hurt. Not because she believed it, but because it confirmed everything she had spent years trying not to admit. Their love had conditions. As long as she paid, sacrificed, stayed quiet, and carried everyone else's burdens, she was family. The moment she chose herself, she became the villain. Still, Samantha stayed silent, because for the first time in years, silence finally belonged to her. Over the next week, the house unraveled quickly. Her family tried everything: guilt, anger, manipulation. Her mother sent photos of the children looking sad beside packed boxes. Her brother begged for just a little more time. Her father lectured her about loyalty and sacrifice. But Samantha had already sacrificed enough. She remembered the winter she slept beside a dog crate while sick because the guest room had been locked for everyone else's safety. She remembered paying bills while her brother ordered expensive gadgets online. She remembered selling jewelry to cover heating costs while everyone else acted like comfort was automatic. And most painfully, she remembered how invisible she became inside the very home she built. so she didn't back down. 7 days later, the movers arrived. Samantha stood across the street holding coffee while her family carried boxes out of the house they once assumed would always belong to them. Her mother stopped beside the truck and glared at her. "I hope you're proud of yourself." Samantha met her eyes calmly. "No," she said softly. "I'm finally free." And for the first time in years, those words felt true. The house sold faster than expected. Cash buyer. Above asking price. Dana, the realtor who helped Samantha rebuild her life, handed over the final paperwork with a smile. "It's done." But Samantha didn't celebrate immediately. Instead, she walked through the empty house one last time. The nursery that used to be her office. The kitchen where she cooked meals no one appreciated. The hallway where her framed accomplishments had once hung before her mother made her take them down because it looked boastful. Every room carried memories of exhaustion disguised as devotion. She realized then that she hadn't lost a home. She had escaped a place where love only existed when she was useful. That night, she unlocked the door to her new loft. The apartment smelled like fresh paint and lavender. Large windows overlooked the river. Her new office sat near the balcony, sunlight pouring across the desk every morning. No screaming, no demands, no tension waiting behind every door, just peace. And when she finally sat down alone in the silence, she cried. Not because she missed them, because she finally had space to feel everything she'd been suppressing for years. Weeks passed, then months. Slowly, Samantha rebuilt herself. She launched the digital business she'd postponed for years while supporting everyone else. She decorated her apartment carefully, choosing things because they brought her joy, not because someone else needed them. She adopted a cat named Ledger. "Because I keep receipts now," she joked to friends. And for the first time in her adult life, she began inviting people into her home who gave back instead of taking. One evening, she hosted 2 close friends for dinner. They ate on the floor, surrounded by unpacked boxes, laughing until midnight over cheap wine and takeout containers. Nobody complained. Nobody expected her to clean alone. Nobody treated her kindness like an obligation. As she washed dishes afterward, Samantha realized something simple but life-changing. Healthy love feels light. Not exhausting, not transactional. Light. Her mother reached out one last time months later. "We're staying with your aunt now," the message read. No apology, no accountability, just information. And strangely, Samantha felt nothing at all. Not anger, not grief, just clarity. Because she finally understood the truth. Some people don't love you, they love access to you. Your energy, your money, your silence, your willingness to abandon yourself for their comfort. But Samantha was no longer abandoning herself. She planted herbs on her balcony, started writing again, built routines that protected her peace instead of draining it. And little by little, the quiet she once feared became sacred. One night, sitting beside the city lights with Ledger curled in her lap, she wrote a sentence on her vision board. "Just because they called it home doesn't mean it was safe." Then she smiled, because this time, the silence around her didn't feel lonely. It felt earned. She had stopped confusing survival with love, stopped begging to be valued by people who only noticed her when they needed something. And in walking away, she discovered something her family never gave her, a life where she no longer had to pay for permission to exist. The truth was, Samantha didn't lose her family when she sold the house. She lost the role they assigned her, and in doing that, she finally found herself.